Hello everybody and welcome to I Speak Organized. Today's video is going to be an organizing project in my own home. I'm going to be tackling one of our storage closets and it is an absolute disaster at the moment. I'm not even sure exactly how it got that way, and I'm sure that if you're watching this you could probably relate to such a feeling of disbelief. If you're interested in learning more about how a professional organizer goes about a project like this from start to finish, I'm going to take you through the whole process, so stick around and let's get into it. My name is Melanie and I'm your professional organizer and productivity consultant. What does that even mean? Hey everybody and welcome back to I Speak Organized. If you don't know me, my name is Melanie and I'm your professional organizer and productivity consultant. I help hardworking families and professionals find form in their space and purpose for every phase of life. As a side note, if you're hearing some crazy noises going on in the background, both my kids are up. I don't typically film videos when my kids are awake or when they're not at Grandma and Grandpa's house because one of them is 2 years old and the other one is 7 months, so they're a little unpredictable and require a lot of attention, but I have to get this project done sooner rather than later. I've been putting it off, so that's what's going on with that. If you are into all things home organizing and decluttering, as well as motivation techniques and productivity practices, then you are definitely going to want to hit the subscribe button at the end of this video to become a member of my speaker fam. All you have to do is hit the little circle icon of my face at the end of the video, and that will make you an official member of my channel, and I would love to have you on board. Okay, I'm going to show you my absolutely horrible storage closet. You ready for this? Okay, here we go. What'd I tell ya? It is an absolute terrifying disaster. I don't even really know what's in the back over there in the corner. Couldn't tell ya. So we're gonna be taking everything out and figuring out how to put everything back together in a way that allows me to step inside and access everything that I need. I'm going to maximize this vertical space because, as you can see, there's a ton of blank white wall where there's space to store stuff. So that's what we're going to do. Revolutionary, really. Okay, so if you have watched my channel before and heard me talk about my organizing methods, then you know that the very first thing that I do and that most of us in the professional organizing industry will do is to declutter. And I've taken care of that process already. I know more or less what is in the storage unit are things that we're going to be keeping. So I don't have to do that, but the next step is an equally frustrating step, but it's one that we all must do, and I feel like it's really important to understand how to organize effectively, is to actually take everything out of the space that you're going to be working in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take every single last thing that is in that storage closet out and start to put it into piles and categories that make sense so I can set up my zones in the space. I'll also show you the organization systems that I got, and by system I really just mean a very simple organizing solution. It could be a shelf, it could be a bin, it could be hooks on the wall, you know, some sort of like pegboard system, something like that. I know. It's terrifying. I completely agree. Alright, so this is the part where you've made a complete mess of your space and you're probably feeling really overwhelmed, and this is where the magic happens. So you kind of have to just push through this stage so that you can move forward. And yes, it does get worse before it gets better, but what I've started doing is putting things in categories so that I have an idea of how I'm gonna reinstall everything in the closet. And once it gets back in there, you'll see that there's really not that much stuff. It's just kind of all over the place right now. Okay, so right over here, we have this shelf unit. It's a 6-shelf unit and it's not very wide. It's a pretty narrow shelf unit because when I took the measurements of our space, we have this big water pipe that goes through the corner of the storage area, and so I wasn't able to use the full width of both the far wall and the long wall. So I had to kind of account for that and look for shelving units that were a bit more narrow. So I got this long, tall one, and then I also have 2 of these. It's just a standard wired 3-shelf unit. I get them from Amazon. I will link the products below so that you know where to get them. Another really important step that most organizers will go through when they're choosing storage solutions for you is to bring a measuring tape and actually measure the space in which you're going to be placing systems. So you don't want to go out and buy bins or shelves or things that are going to attach to the wall, especially if you need things to be very securely attached. You want to make sure you know where your studs are in the wall. Take your measurements, measure 2 or 3 times just to make sure that you know exactly what you're working with and account for any odd angles, any sort of obstructions, like I have that pipe in there that I have to work with. And if you're affixing anything to the wall, make sure that you have the correct hardware for that, whether you're using drywall screws or you're going to need to be anchoring into a stud. It's important to make sure that you know what you're doing so that you know what to get. It's literally a month later, and I had to order some of those hooks that you can screw into the ceiling so that we could hang the bikes. My husband is currently out there installing it for me because he's just such a doll. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Here he is, doing his manly duty. Thanks, bud. Appreciate ya. We got the shelves installed. So now I can actually walk in here, and we've got bikes hung from the ceiling. So now everything is really easy to access. And it's all pretty well categorized for day trips and camping gear, and some emergency supplies, and all of our totes. Okay friends, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Finally got that project done. Feels so much better. My husband and I both agree that it's very satisfying. We can now walk in there, grab the stuff that we need. We know where everything is. We did a little inventory and some purge, and we were able to get the Christmas decorations out and going, so that's really exciting. And if you got value out of this tutorial, would you please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you never miss another opportunity to learn something new about home organizing techniques. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.